Greetings everyone and welcome to school year 21-22. As you know, we're well underway and we started off a little rocky, but greatly appreciate everybody pulling together. We were so fortunate to have office staff come out and assist you all, as well as downtown 450 Park Place come down and assist during lunches. We got transportation coming in. We have some other staffing that helped us along the way. So it's definitely, I can't believe the semester is almost over and we're heading into next year, the next semester. So just really looking forward to continuing to make it the best year that we can. Just want to remind you that you do have a Fayette County email address and that you are looking at that email periodically. It's very important because, as you know, with the pandemic this last couple of years, everything has gone electronic. So it's really important that you make sure that you get into that and that you're using and reading that email. If you're not, there's assistance through your manager can assist you, supervisors, and or if need be, call the help desk, 859-381-HELP. They will be glad to assist you in getting set up. But it's very important because a lot of information and even more information will be coming out through the emails, and that's a good way to keep 450 of us updated. So I don't want you to miss anything. So make sure you're checking that. Also this year, and actually last year, we have new managers on board. We opened up a brand new elementary site. We are continuing to grow, as you know. Our staffing has increased. We have filled our positions. So that's been exciting. Now we're having difficulty with a little food chain supply, but that's okay. You all are making it happen. We greatly appreciate it and look forward to continuing our school year and finishing up on a very successful note. Also, I'd like to just, for our next intro, to introduce you to Dr. Liggins, our superintendent, as well as Myron Thompson, our chief of operations. Forward it to them.
Welcome back to an amazing school year. I'm so excited to start this school year in person and excited that you have joined us and continue to work with us here at Fayette County Public Schools. It's going to be a great year. We're going to do some amazing things, and you as our child nutrition staff matter, and I want you to know that you're an important part of our team, and I want to make sure that you understand that and that we appreciate you and the jobs that you're doing. So thank you for choosing Fayette County Public Schools, and thank you for being here. Let's make it a great year.
Child nutrition team, it's so good to see you this upcoming school year, and I want to wish you all the best as we return. This will make the third school year that we have been dealing with COVID-19, and we've had our largest summer school program in terms of Summer Ignite, and throughout these 3 school years that we are embarking on, child nutrition has continued to feed our kids. You are the core of what we do, and children cannot learn if they are hungry. So again, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate you, and we're looking forward to having a great school year.
Welcome to the 21-22 Cream of the Crop Awards. I'm your host, Cornelius Purnell.
And I'm Juanetta Davis.
We have in store for you tonight a lot of surprises, a lot of awards, a lot of just fun, loving fun.
Oh, but don't you forget the photos that are coming.
Oh, we're going to go back to the studio.
Well, now it comes to that very part that we really love. We want to know who all won those good awards of the year.
Oh my goodness, I can't hold back the excitement.
I
I'm
wonder who
anxious.
won.
Oh
Who
my
do you think?
goodness.
Who do you
I
think?
hope it was me.
No, it has to be me.
Okay, everybody, I hope you're ready to see our beautiful, handsome red carpet winners.
Okay, I'm here at Glendover with Tracy Martin. And Tracy, you nominated Linda Fox for an award. What award was that?
Well, she is so good at making sure that she has everything counted for the next day. She's our next day prepper, and the woman will count 5 times to make sure that it's correct, and I certainly appreciate that. So I nominated her for the best counter.
Perfect. So we are giving Miss Linda Fox our 2021 Math Counts Award. So
She's going to be super psyched, y'all. Let's go give it to her.
Okay, should we holler for her?
We're going for. You holler for her.
Miss Linda! Come here! Look, she's gonna think she's in trouble. Miss Linda! What?
Hello.
You were nominated. I nominated you for something and you won. What did I win?
Miss Linda, you won the 2021 Math Counts Award for being the best counter and always triple counting, quadruple counting all the items. We're so proud of you. Thank you, Miss Linda. It means the world to us.
Thank you.
All right, so now I'm here at Lansdowne with Casey, and her cook is Hiba Jabari, and she does an amazing job with that spaghetti. We even have a little video to show you guys. So she is getting the Quacktastic Award for the best pasta. So we are gonna get her. Let's go. All right, let's find Hiba. Hiba! Where is she? Is she up here? Hello, Hiba. Hello. We are here to surprise you with your award for the best pasta. This is your Quacktastic Award.
Thank you so
Your pasta looks amazing. So we just wanted to share that with you and thank you for all of your hard work.
I don't know what to say.
I am here at Henry Clay with Jackie and Molly.
Hello.
And we are about to give Ginger, how do you say her last name? Pavey, an award for the most beautiful salads that she was nominated for. So we are going to get her and give it to her now.
Awesome.
Thanks for nominating, ladies.
Okay, we're looking for Ginger. You got something?
Is this Ginger?
This is Ginger.
Hi, Ginger. So your managers here nominated you for the most beautiful salads. So I wanted to bring you this award. You get your own little Oscar for the most beautiful salads for 2021. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. We appreciate you. You're welcome. Here we are at Morton Middle. I wanted to say Russell Cave. with Isla, and she has nominated Kathy Horn for the most beautiful pizza. So we are going to present that award to her. Anything to say about Kathy?
Kathy is awesome. Kathy can do anything in the kitchen. She's my backup. She'll step in and do whatever.
Okay.
She doesn't
So we love
complain.
Kathy.
We love Kathy.
Well, let's go find her and give her award.
All
We're
right.
giving her the Rock Star Award.
Yay!
Okay, here we go. Kathy. Here she is. Hello, Kathy. Your manager has nominated you for the Best Pizza of 2021 award. So we wanted to give you your Rock Star Award.
She's my rock star.
Congratulations, Kathy.
Well, thank
Thanks
you.
for all your hard work and your dedication. Perfect.
Put it on top of your hat.
I can glue it right there. There you go. We are here, I am here at Liberty with Keneva. And Keneva, who is your cook?
Janine Algie.
Yeah. And I was here helping out one day, and he made the best grilled cheese. He like cut them in half and everything for the kids, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
He does a good job?
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to give him the Best Grilled Cheese Award of 2021. Cream of the crop. So we're going to go present this to him now.
Okay.
Awesome. Hello, Zanoon.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, good. How about you?
Good.
That's good.
So do you remember when I was here helping out and you made those yummy grilled cheese?
Yes.
And you sliced them in half, and I thought that was awesome. So you get the Best Grilled Cheese of the Year award.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome. Cream of the crop right there.
Wow.
So that's a cool extra step to slice them. I have not seen anybody do that, so we're super impressed. Keneva said she's super proud of you.
Thank you.
Be excited. Be excited.
Oh,
Woohoo! Thank you for all your hard work.
Oh,
All right, so I'm here at Deep Springs with Bridget, and she nominated her employee, Mary Hampton, for several things: multitasking, best team player, those kinds of things. So we are going to surprise her with the 2021 Team Player of the Year award. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Hello, Mary Hampton.
Hi.
So I'm here to surprise you with this little award that Bridget nominated you for. The 2021 Team Player of the Year. She said you're quite the multitasker and you keep everybody in line. So we wanted to gift that to you.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for
appreciate
all your hard work. We appreciate you.
I'm here for the kids.
All right, we'll get back to them. Here they come. Okay, so I'm here at Brenda Cowan with Jane Adams, the manager. And Jane, you guys had a little mishap last week, right?
We did.
Piece of equipment, you know, kind of, yeah, exploded. So you have a cook who really saved the day, right?
We did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's his name?
Jared.
All right, well, we're going to go find Jared, and we're going to give him the Junior Fire Marshal Award. Hey, Jared. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You're fine? So, we heard that you saved the day the other day, so we wanted to give you the Junior Fire Marshal Award
Oh,
for you. That's your Quacktastic Award. We appreciate you. Thanks for not letting the school burn down.
okay.
Diana Crawford is waiting for us.
She got a ring on her.
Oh.
Her name now is Diane Pridgey.
Oh my goodness, fellas, I guess we just missed out.
Hi everybody, this is Diana coming to you live from the Joe G. White Building. Recently returned from a trip to the sandy beaches of the Gulf Coast of Florida, where I returned with a new name. So for those of you who know me, it is changing from Crawford to Priggy. And for those of you who don't know me, as of a couple of days, I'll be Diana Priggy, because all I like is changing my driver's license. So we're going to talk today about all this fine paperwork that everybody sends me and I call you about. The first thing is timesheets. Everybody does timesheets. A lot of you do them wrong. We all have issues on occasion. Name, very important. Had one last week, didn't have a name on it. Employee number, very important. There's always one or two without an employee number. Location is also important. Guys, this is what you're getting paid with. Please fill it out. Put your in and out hours, total up the hours worked, carry the total to the right, carry the totals to the bottom. Sign and date. It's not rocket science, but it's usually incomplete. So please work with me. The next thing is your leave form. These are used for sick leave, personal leave, and down here is emergency leave. Also jury duty. If they are above the section that has to be notarized, they have to be notarized. If what type of leave you're taking is below the section that has to be notarized, it does not have to be notarized. But in all cases, managers, you need to sign the bottom of the form in all cases. Even if you send it to me to notarize or you send it to the front hall to notarize, please sign the bottom as their supervisor. Or send it to your supervisor if it's you that's taking the leave. Now, everybody's biggest question is COVID leave. This is the COVID leave form. It is only for vaccinated peeps. If you are unvaccinated, unfortunately, Fayette County is not offering any COVID leave whatsoever to unvaccinated folks. So if you are vaccinated, you can take COVID leave for being COVID positive, being COVID quarantined because of somebody else in your immediate family that is quarantined, or if your child gets sent home from school because their class is quarantined. You can use COVID leave. You get 10 days. That's it. When your 10 days is up, no matter how many times your kid gets quarantined, unfortunately, we only have 10 days. So in addition to this leave form, I do need a copy of your vaccination card and a copy of your health department quarantine release letter, or a letter from your school, something that put your kid in quarantine, because the benefits office is really cracking down this year on using COVID leave. I kind of get the impression it got abused in the past, so they're trying to crack down on it. If you have questions, your manager can help you, or they can call me and I'll be glad to answer questions. The next thing is shoe reimbursement. We got a lot of new people that have never bought shoes before. We pay up to $100 for shoe reimbursements. To be eligible, they must be slip resistant and water or stain resistant. It's all listed on the form. A lot of Skechers now are coming Scotch guarded from the company so that they're water and stain resistant. Leather shoes are always water and stain resistant. So if you buy a pair of leather shoes that are slip resistant bottoms, they qualify. If you have questions, you're looking at a pair of shoes, they're expensive and you're not sure, call me. I'll be glad to look them up for you. Mileage reimbursements. We've got a lot of new people going to the bank. You have to fill out a mileage reimbursement form. When you turn that in, you have to fill out the requisition form that goes on top of it. So both forms are required, one for each month. Please don't put multiple months on one form, put a different month on every page. On the drop-down list from the FCPS website, you can change that, or your manager can print out different copies, but please put a different month on each. You and your manager have to sign both copies of every page. Again, call me if you have questions. Again, with the newbies, some of you are still being reimbursed for the application expenses. Downtown's picking up the expenses now, but some of you paid these expenses before downtown started. This is required with a copy of every receipt that you wish to be reimbursed for. One key with all these receipts, make sure that the name of the seller is listed, or the vendor, what you bought, what you paid for it, and how you paid for it. Visa, MasterCard, check, cash, something. Don't send me partial receipts because they'll get returned. And back to the shoes, don't send me your packing slip because that's not a receipt. It'll get returned. That's pretty much it for everybody. Managers only, please use the sub time sheets when you've got subs. A lot of you are still writing sub on it. We got a special sheet for this. I've emailed it to everybody. If you don't have it, I'll email it again. And lastly, for me, dates on your deposit slips. Dates and totals. A lot of the deposit slips are missing dates. So please do that for me. Otherwise, I think that's it for me. We will wrap it up here live in the Joe G. White VIP room. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Mike, what are you doing?
I'm thinking about talking to Wendy and Michelle about using duck instead of chicken.
Duck?
There's duck everywhere.
Duck everywhere.
We should probably use duck. Do you think Wendy and Michelle like that idea?
I don't know, but it's worth asking.
Wait. Say that again. What was that?
Hey Mike, it's Michelle. I overheard your conversation with Teresa talking about duck. Wow, what a wonderful idea, but I tell you what, Gwen and Wendy are already on top of it and we cannot find any duck. We tried, so please go ahead and continue to find anything and everything we can. Any suggestions, much appreciated. Thank you and see you later. Bye.
Okay, whatever that just happened, we're not going to worry about that, but we want to go on to the next episode, which will be the Wendy Show.
Oh, the Wendy Show. I thought that was canceled. I guess they renewed her for one more season.
Hey, yeah, you go, girl.
Well, we'll see what these ratings are like.
We're coming to you live today from the VIP room here at Joe G. White Building, and you are part of the Wendy show team, whatever, right?
We got it.
Well, we've got a few updates that we're going to go through, and we're going to focus on basically how your job functions and what we can do to help all of our staff and managers, and talk about deliveries. And so we'll just go through, and I have a few questions that I'd like to ask Gwen and see what kind of response she has. So
I'm ready, Wendy.
perfect, wonderful. You're always ready. She's always ready, on time and ready for the Wendy Show. So my understanding is that every Wednesday the managers submit orders, and they submit those orders to you, and you go through Edison. It's what, Gordon, Warehouse,
Clem's Produce.
Okay. So, but there's a few other orders that don't go through you, like Atlantic.
Yes. Atlantic, enter your orders in, and I know there's days that there's only showing maybe 2 cereals available, but they may get a truck in. So, but go ahead and enter your orders, because that will flag that you're getting them. And because they're only putting on there what is only available to them at that time. And then maybe revisit it on Monday in the mornings to see if something came in over the weekend that you can add to it and get some more other product. But they won't be out of the other product before that.
So go ahead and place their order, even though if it only shows like 2 cereals.
Right.
Go ahead and do that so that they can at least get those 2 cereals.
Yes.
And then Monday, if they go back and check and there's more options available, that means the inventory's there.
Yes, and that would also eliminate, if there wasn't more product that came in, they may not even been able to get the 2 cereals on Monday.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Thank
So
you.
what about like Klosterman? That's another one that you don't have access to.
I mean, I have contact with the reps. If they have any issues, I will work with them on that. But they do work straight on their order with Klosterman. And always remember, if you go back to add on to that, it will delete your previous order. It'll override. So whatever you enter last will become your order. So just be careful with that.
Okay, so
And milk, you talk to your guys, they come in.
okay, so Atlantic, you can double up on orders.
Yes.
But Klosterman, it's one order. If you put it in again, it's gone.
Yes.
Like the old one's gone.
Yes.
Okay. Great. That's great information.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd be thinking, got a hot dog there? No, not hot dog there.
Yeah, we've had a few outages like that, I feel like. So now we need to kind of talk about ordering and how, you know, everyone is getting anything from like a wrong product. How have you, give us some examples or maybe some feedback on what's happening?
Wrong product as in mispick. We've had a lot of those. Let's say you ordered some Butter Buds and you got chocolate syrup. The label on the box says that they were getting their Butter Buds, but when they actually opened up the box, it had chocolate syrup in it. Just today, we had a school calling. They expected to get, gosh, I forgot what it was now.
The beets, wasn't it?
Yeah,
beets?
but they were asking for, they ended up getting beets for something totally random.
Raisins. It was
Yeah.
raisins.
They ordered, raised owls. They got golden raisins for a sub, but when they opened the box, it was beets. So,
Lots
yeah.
of auto subs,
Yeah.
and who knows what you're getting, so be very cautious and look at that. So if they do get the wrong item, what are they supposed to do?
send me pictures. The vendors, Clem's or GFS, will need pictures of the box. Show what the label says, that what that was picked. Tell me in brief and what they actually received. So in a brief statement too, say I ordered Butter Buds. The tickets or the invoice says Butter Buds. The box says chocolate syrup. Inside is chocolate syrup. Or no, inside the box is chocolate syrup. So send pictures, a brief statement of what you ordered, what got subbed, and what you actually received. And then I will work on my end, sending it to the vendor to get you credited and let you know if it needs to be picked up, thrown away, or whatever needs to be done from that.
Okay, so would the same thing happen, like if they were to get a really poor quality? Like if they got carrots and like they were out of date, or like, would they handle that the same way?
Pictures, yes, and letting me know what happened. Yeah, and we do need to know that because we want to know, especially if you got something that was an old can that was spoilage in canned chicken or something like that. They would say, let us know, because that might be something district-wide. We need to say, don't serve that. Look, check, always make sure you check those dates.
That's a good point.
So never we can let everybody know. It never gets old. Don't think somebody else reported it or something, because we want to hear from you. We want to know what you're dealing with out there, so we can try to help you.
Yeah, I think that in the past I've even heard that we've had like a chicken bone, and maybe it's a random situation, but that's another example too. Just like you said, that it might be district wide, it might be isolated, but just information is knowledge. Communication is important.
Communication is, yes, Wendy, that is great.
Yeah, so I was going to talk a little bit about the subbing, because I know that's a big topic right now. The substitutes that we're getting are all over the place. They're trying to do like products. Hopefully we're getting more of the like products and not the unlike products like you experienced with that chocolate syrup. So
good on broccoli.
kids might like it. Who knows?
Right? Maybe.
So basically, the subbing that we're doing, it's the way it's set up. We try to pick the items that we would use, and then sometimes it's auto sub, which that means that the person at GFS or even at Clem's, they just want to make sure we get food in. So if you got a Bosco stick that you had on order, and then you got a different cheese stick that came in, what we've asked is that you put that new item in as the Bosco stick. And I know it's confusing, and I know inventories are going to be difficult, but if you at least put that item in as the actual quantity that it is, then you can produce it. We're hoping to see improvements, but we just don't know. We don't know where we're at. We don't know what's going to happen. The most important thing is feed the kids. You got it, Gwen. That's right. And that's exactly what we've been tag teaming on, Wendy.
and making sure that we are getting it happening. Are we perfect? No.
No.
Are our vendors perfect? No. So the only one that's perfect is Mandy. So she's the only one. Okay, so the main point, I think, of what you were trying to reflect on, and we were all talking about, is communication.
Yes.
Letting us know. If we know, then we can do something about it. If we don't know, then we just don't know. We can't help you.
Right.
I do appreciate everyone's feedback. I've had
Yes.
lots of managers that have been rock stars, and we really, really appreciate that. So thank you all for being
Very
wonderful.
much so.
What do you think about, on a positive note, about deliveries and updates? You have some information to share?
I do. I do know that the last couple of weeks it's just continually getting better, especially with GFS. I know there's a lot of issues that we have to stay late and follow trucks, but we just can't say no to food. But they are working internally, and with this past week, I see that it was a very positive thing because nobody was having to stay super late. I think one of the latest was like 2:30.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I know, knock on wood. But they're working internally. We've been contacting them daily about what can we do on our end, or what can we do to work together to make this happen better. And we're working on some things, and I promise you we haven't forgotten, and we promise we'll be back to you and helping you is all we can.
That's right. We're here to help. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
If we're not available right then, we're definitely
Yeah.
want to make sure that we
Mhm.
get back with you.
Yes.
Emailing, like you said, emailing the communication. We've got a tracking record. We can look at it easier. We want to talk to you all as well, but sometimes that's difficult. But anyway, so there's just another topic that's kind of been brought to mind is our like smallwares and
Yes.
supplies that I know that you've worked long hours and intensely on
Yeah.
that. Can you give us some info?
As you know, there's been a lot of things that we've been completely out of, and some things are being replaced permanently for manufacturing. You know, we don't think sometimes that oil and gas represent, but when we need resin to make things, it's causing the production of it to go. So our vendor can't get it from their vendor. So we're replacing some as closely as we can for like products. We're trying to buy out as much as we can, just like when we started doing our orders 3 and 4 weeks ahead. If your storage allows for it, they're trying to do the same thing. And I'm trying to make sure that we have a truck following the next one coming in, you know, giving it 3 weeks.
So if they get,
For instance, I had a rack that we were needing to order, and they're 35 weeks out. And so,
what?
35 weeks. I mean, years gone. But so now that doesn't mean that I'm not looking for another one that's like that, and then I'll cancel that order. But they are on order, and I promise I'm working on it. But, you know, if you want to remind me about it, that's fine, because I'm not perfect and I can miss them. So if you want to remind me, that's fine.
Okay, if they can go ahead and maybe a good idea would be if they can kind of trade out within. There might be someone else in the district that has this item that's a smallware that they could use. Maybe they don't need as many as they have in house.
Yeah.
We all need to be flexible right now.
You know, just like the email that went out this week talking about the emergency trays. We don't want to ever come to a real, you know, I won't say anything's not a real emergency, but we don't want you to have to not have them when we're having to wait on truckloads to come in on those. But as soon as I sent that email, there has been people waiting and haven't been getting their 2-ounce souffle cups and lids or their foil sheets. But when I sent that, people emailed me and said, well, if anybody needs foil sheets, I have them. So
we have wonderful managers.
Yeah.
They're willing to share for sure. So,
and that amazes me on it. And so we're just trying to keep you up to date on everything that we can and try to help you out. If something comes up, let us know and we'll work on it, because it may be something that I'm not even thinking about.
Right. So like the salads, I know that they were black, the little salad containers,
yes.
and now the side salads are going to be clear.
Exactly.
And then the little black bowls that we put vegetables in, you were working on that product too. So some things are going to change a little.
We do have one coming in for that as well, but we weren't completely out of that one, but yeah. But so we'll just start receiving the newer product as it comes in.
So try to work on probably using trays when you can, not using emergency trays unless you absolutely need to. And I think that the supervisors had said that they would help kind of with that process. So don't hesitate if you're in a situation that you need them. That's what they're there for. They're there when you need them.
Try to keep a couple of days on, that way if you don't even know you need it until that morning, that you have that day. I think that would really help.
Good plan. Well, it sounds like you've got a plate full of opportunities, and we're trying to keep moving forward.
Exactly.
And
we'll work together on it.
We're doing good. So this has been your first episode of the Wendy Show.
Well, fashion is our passion.
Takes a lot of work to get a big guy to look this good.
But in that kitchen, you gotta tone it down a little bit.
Tone it down?
So let's just see what them 6-hour workers think what fashion could be in the kitchen.
Okay, so what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I think I think that's fine. I think on the next one that we need to be a little more specific.
Man. Oh, no. Wrong office? No.
That cannot be worn.
That is not
in the kitchen.
Appropriate for work. Nope.
No belly.
Your belly is going to get burnt on an oven. Those
jeans.
shoes, you got cute shoes. They ain't slip resistant. You're going to fall and you're going to bust your bump.
The holes in the jeans are definitely not acceptable.
Can't do that.
Sorry.
Untie that shirt, honey.
Where's your hat or your hairnet?
Oh, I have my hairnet in.
No.
Yep, all of that hair cute, but gotta be up. Gotta be all up.
The bang,
everything
the
has to be under your hairnet.
Wow.
Yep, honey. And your mask gotta cover your nose.
We don't want hair in our food, okay? And the mask, let's bring it up over the
there
nose.
we go. That's better.
That looks. We're on the right track.
I mean, so nothing right now.
No, honey. You gotta try again.
Let's go home and start over.
See, look.
Oh.
This is how we do this.
Leanna, that's wonderful.
Perfect. She's got all her hair is up in a hairnet. Her mask is covering her nose and her mouth.
Let's see those shoes.
And
yes.
the shoes are good.
That'll
They're
work.
slip resistant. She's got her uniform shirt on and it's clean and she is ready to go. Yes, that. You need to be more like Leanna.
Sorry. Try again.
Our next segment is gonna be called the FSPC.
No, the FCSNA. NA. If you say it multiple times, it just slides right off the tongue.
This is our lunch bunch, and they have, I don't know what they're
I don't know
called.
what they're called. I don't know.
Hey guys, it's Penny, Heisel Church. I'm the president this year of your Fayette County SNA, and I want to introduce the rest of us. We have Jane Adams, who is our president-elect for this year, and Bridget Thomas at East Springs, who is vice president, treasurer Tanya Wilson-Rickert, and secretary Mandy Allen. We just kind of want to tell you a few things that's going on this year to let you know. We have Employee of the Year and Manager of the Year awards coming up. So probably after the first of the year, you'll start seeing emails with dates coming out about those. So be on the lookout for your emails. We have scholarships. I've sent out the high school scholarships to all the high schools and all the counselors. And soon we'll be sending out elementary and middle school scholarships. And we're going to have a few extras this year. So be on the lookout for those. And Jane? Take it away, guys.
Okay, thanks, Penny. Hey, guys.
So I don't know if you all saw our store that opened at the end of November and beginning of December, but we had some shirts and sweatshirts, visors, and maybe some hats on there for sale. So be on the lookout. We'll be opening that up every now and then throughout the school year, kind of a little pop-up shop for you to get some new gear for the school year. So be on the lookout for that so you can stay in style in new cool clothes. And Bridget?
Hey, don't you want to be part of our group, guys? We know you do, and we have 2 spots coming open this year. We have the vice president spot that's coming open and the secretary. So be looking for an email from Penny that's asking for your nominations as someone that can fit in with us and help us with great ideas for our fundraisers and the events we have for our members. And if you think that you'd be a great fit, then let us know.
You can nominate yourself too, right?
Sure.
Yeah, you can nominate yourself. Perfect. Tanya?
I just wanted to remind everybody that it's great if you check your email. A couple times a week would be nice. We like to send out stuff when we hold raffles or we have giveaways. Just randomly, every once in a while, we like to be nice and give some stuff away. So check your email a couple times a week. If you have not set up your email or you're having trouble setting up your email, it's best to call 381-HELP and they will help you set up your email and you can download the app and have it handy.
Keep going.
And now to you, Mandy.
Hello. Okay, so I know that I have done Kentucky One training for a lot of you. There have been so many new employees this year, and we never really had a very much time to talk about what SNA or FCSNA or KSNA is. So we're going to have a Zoom meeting on January the 18th at 6 o'clock. We will send it out in the email. For anybody who doesn't know what it is confused about it, even if you're a member and you're not even sure what you're a member of, anybody who wants to join it can can join the Zoom and then ask questions and we'll all be there to answer. Now, we are going to be giving away some free memberships. We've already given away some because we have the new payroll deduction. So if we give you a free membership, we pay your first year's dues and membership and all of that, then you guys can just sign up for payroll deduction and you don't ever have to get that big bill. You just pay two something a paycheck. And then it takes care of all of your dues. So if you have any questions about it, January 18th, put it on your calendars now. Closer to, I will send out a Zoom link to your work email. So like Tanya said, make sure you can access that. And then we'll be happy to answer any questions and get you signed up. That's all I have. Back to you, Penny.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye.
Hi, it's Teresa. Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. No, we do not require giving the students a milk, not since 1974. Yes. No, they do not have to have a milk. See ya. Bye.
Well, you know, we really like to have fun, but every great award show has to have a moment of seriousness.
Yes, and we have to dial it back a little bit. Take the time to pay attention to this important announcement that's coming to us.
Please don't take your eyes off of it.
Okay, everybody, we are going to talk about reimbursable meals and what they are, what it means, why does it have to be reimbursable, those types of things. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about the cost and how that breaks down. So Wendy's going to video the paper and I'm going to try to explain it to you. Now these numbers are not exact. They're just for education purposes, just so that we can kind of get a understanding of how it works. So our students are free students. They pay nothing. then we have our reduced students, and then we have our full pay students. So if Fayette County tells that our meal costs $4 to make, okay, and again, this is just an example. So Fayette County says that our meal costs $4. Our free pay students pay nothing, and the state pays $4. That's our reimbursement for that meal. A reduced pay student will say pays 50 cents. Again, not actual numbers. So the state makes up the difference and says we pay $3.50 for reimbursement. A full pay student might pay $2.50, and you think they pay the whole meal, but they don't. There's still a difference. So the state makes up that difference as well. These are our reimbursements. This is how much we get, not exact again, per meal, and why everything has to be reimbursable. So when we talk about what is reimbursable meal, which we're going to talk about in just a second, it's so that we get this money. The state says, if you want us to pay this, we want to make sure that these meals are considered full reimbursable meals. So just to bring me into one other little explanation that I know we always have issues with, teachers and adults that work in the schools. They are sometimes upset about paying $4 for that meal when the students pay $2.50. Even the full pay students pay less, and they think that it's not fair. Well, the explanation for that is we don't have student meals and adult meals. We simply have a student meal. The state pays part of the reimbursement for them to get up to that full price, right? The $4. But for adults, the state pays $0. They don't pay anything for adults. So that's why the adults have to pay the full amount for the lunch. It's not that they're paying more for the same thing. That's not it. They are purchasing one of our student meals at full price because we get no reimbursement for them. And that's how that works, okay? So now we're gonna go back here. We have a bunch of stuff on the board, hopefully give you some visual as to determining what is and what is not a reimbursable meal and answering some of those little tricky questions. Okay.
All right, let's talk about some trays that may come through your line, and then we're going to see, is it reimbursable? So just as a reminder, a reimbursable meal consists of 3 components. Those 3 components, one of those have to be a fruit or a vegetable, not both. So let's just go with the simple. Let's choose a fish sandwich with a banana. And the question is it reimbursable or not? The answer is yes. So you have your protein, you have your grain, and you have your fruit. That's 3 components.
But what if there's no milk on there?
That's okay. They don't have to have a milk. Or if they get a milk, it's still reimbursable. If they don't want milk, still reimbursable.
So you're saying it's 3 components, meaning like food groups basically, not 3 items.
Correct, because this actually counts as a grain and it counts as the protein as well. Now, if you decided that this was your meal, is this reimbursable? No. What is it missing? It's missing either a vegetable or it's missing a fruit. Now this tray can look wonderful. It can have lots of variety, lots of options on there. Right? They can have a child can come through, a student can come through and they can eat and they can have a full meal. But it's the ones that make that choice that they don't want a full meal that we need to really focus and make sure that we're doing the right thing. And is it a reimbursable meal?
So Wendy, I've heard through the years, here's something I would like clarification on. If a student wants 2 cups of applesauce, Do we allow that or do we not allow that?
So what we want to do is we want to encourage them to take a different fruit, right? That's good nutrition. Our job is to teach them good nutrition, and that's what we want to be able to do. Now, granted, some circumstances might be special. That's totally different. You're going to know those special circumstances. But what we want to do is that they want an apple. We're not going to let them take 2 apples. Let's get an apple, and let's get some, I don't even care if they have apple sauce. 2 different versions. That's good nutrition. Now, granted, this can't be their meal, right? So
Correct.
what else would they need to have? Well, if you look over here, if it was pizza day, is that reimbursable? It is. That's reimbursable. Because this counts as the protein and the grain, and then we have the fruit.
And the cheese pizza and pepperoni pizza count the same, correct?
That is correct.
It doesn't matter if it's pepperoni pizza or cheese pizza
It doesn't,
or
because
sausage.
If it's just cheese on there, there's enough cheese that's on that item, the child nutrition label. That's why we go through, make sure our products are specific to the child nutrition program. It's going to have enough cheese on there to equal those 2 ounces of a meat alternative.
So we're not counting the pepperoni, really.
Some circumstances we are, if it's a pepperoni, and it actually counts towards the protein.
Okay.
All right, so if we were looking at some little trickier options, let's pick Taco Nacho Day, right?
Yes.
So the normal Taco Nachos comes through, and it's gonna look like this, right? Can you zoom in on that, Mandy?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have the meat, it's gonna have the chips, and then it's got cheese over it. That's the whole entree. Well, what would make this a reimbursable meal would be adding on a vegetable, because it's going to be 3 components. Now, granted, again, they can put extra milk, they can have extra fruits. It doesn't limit them to those 3. They can have a full tray. But what we want to make sure of, again, is that if it is not a full tray, why is this reimbursable? Well, it's reimbursable because it's got the protein, it's got the grain, protein in the meat, the grain in the chips, and then it has a vegetable with it. So it is going to be reimbursable for that very fact. However, some circumstances, kids do not want the cheese on, I want to call it cheese sauce, because we don't count that cheese sauce. It's not real cheese a lot of times. It is a condiment. So in our circumstance, we do not count that as a protein. But some kids come through and they absolutely just want the chips and the cheese. So is this a reimbursable meal?
Chips and cheese and carrots. Well, it has the grain, the dairy, and the vegetable, right?
Nope. Remember, the cheese is a condiment. Even though it has some calcium in it, might have milk in it, and it's not the dairy. So we actually only have 2 components. So this is a big no.
Okay.
It is not reimbursable. So then let's give another circumstance. What would make it reimbursable? Well, we could add a milk on there. Bam. We've got 1, 2, 3 components. 3 components, and one of those is a vegetable. So we have a reimbursable meal. We could even go to the extent of just adding on a fruit. And we have 1, 2, 3 components. That's a reimbursable meal.
Wendy, what if it were the chips with the cheese, the carrots, and corn?
Okay. Is this reimbursable? You got 3 items, right? But remember, you've heard me say several times components. Well, if this is a vegetable and this is a vegetable, that's 1. These kind of go together. That's 1. And then we talked about the chips being the grain. So if we've got 1 component and 1 component, we still do not have enough components.
So they have to be 3 different components.
Correct. Now, if they put the taco meat with it,
You've got protein, you've got grain, and you have your vegetables. So you have a reimbursable meal.
Or if they get a fruit instead of the taco meat.
Correct.
Because that, or a milk, really, correct?
They could get a fruit. They could get a milk.
3 different components.
3 different. And
Okay.
even if we want to be really tricky on it, we could even say they can just get the meat. And they've got 3 different components.
So they're allowed to get it the way that they want it if we are able to do that. It's just that we have to make sure it's still reimbursable.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I know that another one that kids typically want special is spaghetti.
Ooh,
So
spaghetti.
can we talk about spaghetti?
Sure. So, spaghetti, normal spaghetti is going to look like that. It's got your grains, it's got your meat on it, and that's 2 components. And then if you were to throw a milk on there, is that considered reimbursable? No. What's missing? You need a vegetable to go with it, makes 3 components, or you need a fruit. That's what's missing. So what Mandy was asking was, what about how interesting that our spaghetti can get, because some kids absolutely do not want the red sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna pull in penne. They just want the noodles. So having plain noodles is totally fine, but when they come through your line and it's not your normal entree item, you've got to tell yourself to stop and think about 3 components. So in this situation, if we were to have milk and we were to have the penne, we've only got 2. So in order to make this a reimbursable meal, what is it missing? It's missing either the vegetable or it's missing the fruit.
Okay, so just to reiterate, the only component that is specifically required is one of them has to be a fruit or a vegetable.
Correct.
The other 2 can be either, they just have to be different. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Gotcha.
But I do like what you had said earlier about, if you're taking, we just have to remember that vegetables are always vegetables as a group. Now granted, this is reimbursable. And so we can actually have a lot of vegetarian kids that this could be their meal. Mm-hmm. This could be their meal, and this is okay. They don't have to take that meat, especially on a situation like this where we purposely don't combine them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to use this chocolate milk somehow. All right, so we're looking at, I'm going to take this off for a second. Pulling our chips on a corn dog day. Is this a reimbursable meal? Let's talk about it. So we've got our grain. There's a grain that's on here. It doesn't count for a whole lot sometimes, but ours do count as a grain and a protein. So that's going to be 2. And then we've got our Doritos, which count as a grain also. And then we have our milk. So we do have, you've got 3 components, right? But is it reimbursable? It's a no. It is missing the fruit or the vegetable. So if we were to go in and we're going to add, I know this is kind of crazy, but wouldn't that be a kid's dream? Fries to this, that is considered the vegetable. Now, if for some reason, which we don't serve potato chips, we don't serve potato chips, really true potato chips that are actually made out of potatoes, because these are not a grain. These are considered a condiment. So we don't actually serve them on our meals for that very reason, because if we did, then these are not equals. So I know everyone's getting a lot of substitutes right now, and hopefully that is not occurring where we're getting potato chips in place of our actual chip, which is like usually whole corn. Our Doritos do contain that. But substitutes have been happening a lot.
And no matter what, no matter if it's a different item that we're serving, the concept is we should still be able to make a reimbursable meal every single day, all day long. It's offer versus serve for that reason. We offer all 5 components. So like in this example, we would offer all 5 components. I'm gonna put this a little way up there. So we've got our grain, we've got a meat, we've got our vegetable, we got our fruit, we got our milks. We got our milk. All 5 are listed. That does not mean they have to take that much. They have to take the 3. So if a kid's going through the line and they decided that they don't like milk, well, they don't have to take it. And we're still reimbursable. If a kid goes through the line and they don't want the orange, this is still actually reimbursable, as skimpy as it looks, because there's a vegetable, there's a protein, and a grain.
And don't we have some items that, I wish we had yogurt up here, but yogurt counts as a meat alternate, correct?
That is correct.
So why do we have to put the string cheese and the crackers and all of that stuff with our yogurt?
That's a good question. So the yogurt actually only counts as a 1 ounce, and the string cheese counts as a 1 ounce, and everything that we serve needs to equal the 2 ounce equivalent for meats.
Okay.
Every grade level can get a little tricky because high schoolers, the amount of grains that they require is higher than what an elementary or middle school student is required to take. So generally speaking, someone may say, well, why do you serve the same portion at a high school that you do at an elementary? Well, we serve larger portions generally of the grain item at the high school than we do at the elementary level.
Okay, so with the yogurt meal, you have the cheese and the yogurt together equal 1 component.
Correct.
The meat alternate, and then we add the crackers because that counts as a grain, and that's how we make our entree equal 2 components.
Correct. And that grain actually is not enough to be served at a high school level, so we don't serve the yogurt and the cheese stick at the high school level for that reason.
Okay. All right. Anything else you think we should know?
Just be patient, be kind, and continue to feed our kids. Appreciate you all and everything you're doing. If you have any questions, I'm here to help, and glad to give assistance. Okay.
All right, so just to recap, we were talking about initially how the reimbursement works, how we get paid, and it's based off of making sure our meals are reimbursable to begin with. Okay, so one thing that we have to that I see happen relatively often is there's a student that just refuses to take that 3rd component, or they don't want a fruit, they don't like any of those things. So what's the harm in just letting them go to the table? Like, who's gonna really know?
So actually what happens is that there's a reason why we fill out worksheets, and we fill out the actual amounts that we are providing.
Okay.
And that's because those worksheets are proof that we did provide a fruit or a vegetable of the right amount to all the kids we served. So like if we had a school where we served 200 kids, then they would expect to see 200 of the fruit and vegetables in order for it to show a reimbursable meal. Same thing with many other items.
Yes.
So, they would go through and look at that.
So they have like their own math problems that they do to make sure that the numbers on that worksheet equal what we're telling them we've sold that day.
Correct.
Okay. So then how do we fix that at the end of the line? You're there. There's, again, in real life, these kitchens are moving fast. It's not always on this board, and just, okay, little boy. So how do we fix those trays that are just wrong? Because if they're not correct, we're supposed to charge them a la carte, right?
We are supposed to do that, but we're obviously not. So what we're going to do is say, most of the time you're going to have a fruit or something towards the end and get that student to take that fruit or vegetable.
Okay.
That's really the easiest solution, is to do that.
Okay.
I know it's probably a little easier in like elementary and middle school.
Right.
Because they listen a little
bit.
better. But high school, it gets difficult. So definitely have those items there and ready. And once they know that that's the expectation, then they know that that's what they're supposed to do.
And
they don't want to stay in line long. They want to get out of that line too.
Yeah, and we dealt with this, back in 2013, 14,
Right.
whenever we were like, you had to take a fruit or vegetable. And very quickly, the kids caught on.
Yeah.
And they did. There's a few that still try, or they just forget.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Now, we did talk about running out leftovers.
Yes. So that is another thing, because on the production records, production worksheets, the part that the staff is writing on and filling out every day, I have seen some where it shows like they actually ran out of all of their items. And I don't mean just one item. I mean like there's 4 fruits listed and it looks on paper like they've ran out of all of them. Is that a good thing?
Oh, that's not good at all. Because the expectation is that the first kid that comes through the line gets offered the same thing as the last kid on the line. Now, I do know that right now that we're subbing and you might be having to switch out some of your products right in the middle. But we still need to be very focused on making sure that if there's a reason why, like we literally have no applesauce cups, right? If you don't have applesauce cups, then you ran out and you have 0, understood. But what did you pull in? Did you pull in canned applesauce? Did you pull in something else? Like having those options available, again, from the first kid to the last kid is your focus. Sometimes things just happen. And that's what the manager would have to go in and you write down what happened on that worksheet and put it in the notes.
Okay.
As much information that you could possibly put into that worksheet, that's your story of what happened for that day.
Okay. Because when it looks like we ran out of everything, it just honestly doesn't look like what really happened that day.
You're right.
It just looks like, yep, we ran out. I didn't count it. So here we go. Yep, we had none, we had none, we had none. Or even if you threw it away, that doesn't mean you had none because you threw it away. It's not how much you have now. It's at the end of meal service, how many did you have left, okay? So if you had 4 hamburgers and you threw them away, that doesn't mean you put a 0 on the worksheet meaning that you have none at all. You would put 4 and then put waste or trash or however you denote that. So at least the state knows we didn't run out of hamburgers.
No.
We just threw away the ones that we had left over.
Yeah, and sometimes I've seen people speaking of that, I like to use the applesauce cups or even like our mixed fruit frozen cups because they'll put 0 down, which really they may have put out a whole tray of 50 and they had 4 left over. Still put those 4 leftovers on there because that shows that we didn't truly run out.
That everybody had the option to take that. Okay. Okay, well, I hope that you guys learned a lot. I learned some new stuff. Wendy is always learning new stuff. We just have to teach her daily. So if there's any questions that you guys have, just let us know. Let her know. Call her.
Here to help.
And that's it. Take care.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Got it. Okay. All right. Nope. Fake news. Fake news. Kids have to take 1 fruit or 1 vegetable. They can take both if they want them, but they have to have either 1 fruit or 1 vegetable.
Phew, it's getting hot in here. But don't worry, it's okay. Todd's coming with calibrations on them thermometers. So let's just learn how to calibrate those thermometers.
He'll tell us exactly how hot it is.
When you do your ice, just make sure you have more ice than you have water. So I have to fill my cup all the way. And just get in enough water to where the tip of the probe can get into the bottom. But you really want to have more ice than you do water. This guarantees that it gets down to 32 degrees. All right, once you have your water into your ice, and it looks about like that, go ahead and get your probe. You all know this, but just look for verification on your menu. Select it, and it gives you the instructions basically that I just told you. The important part being a lot of ice and a little bit of water, or else it's not going to get cold enough, and that's why sometimes they get rejected. Once you're ready, probe in, hit OK, and stir. And I don't know if you saw the screen, but it says verification saved. If it doesn't, it'll come up red and it'll say verification failed, and you will need to do it again. But this pretty much will guarantee that it should work correctly. If this doesn't work and you're still having issues, call me. It could be a probe issue, but this should get you taken care of.
I guess that wraps up everything.
Like lunch service, all good things have to come to an end.
And thank you for sharing your time with us and
visiting us here at the Cream of the Crop Awards 2021-2022.